So apparently they can't clone locks. So if you've seen somebody keep their locks, they never been cloned. So I guess that's the reason why they said Lil Wayne never been cloned, because he always had his locks.
So like, are you a trans? Are you a real pretty girl or a real pretty man? Either way, don't go to prison, because it's not going to work like how you think it's going to work.
Who the fuck are the chefs? I want to know who the chefs are. Because it's just not about the eating. I want to know if there's anyone famous in the chefs.
I mean, of course there's some famous chefs there. What do you think this is? I mean, do I have to break that down for you? Because I will. But on the Patreon is certain things that you can't say on You Better Not Tube, and that's just the way it is. Join as a free member. The link is in front of you and also pinned in the comments. We'll chop it up there so I can give you a much better understanding of what we talking about. But I will say this, and you're gonna laugh when you hear this. Your conspiracy theorist friends were right. Ooh, doesn't that just burn? It burns us too. We wish we weren't right. We really do. Let's continue the show.
Dismissive, arrogant, and lack empathy. Because every time black people discuss race or what we've been through, white people don't want to hear it. They are quick to dismiss, deflect, bring up numbers and statistics. And it's like, this is why this race thing in America, it ain't going nowhere.
I just want you to know I'm one of your black friends that doesn't care about any of that. But I don't care because I already told you this. Yeah, remember when you thought I was a conspiracy theorist? It's just a theory, remember? No one's really doing that, right?
I'm not acting like I read 3.5 million documents. Just based on what I've read so far, I actually owe a lot of the conspiracy theorists I know an apology. GIB, it's very hard for me when it comes to the everything's connected people, you know? Because not everything feels connected.
It's not supposed to feel like it's connected. You see how they do that one right there? It's very slick. The devil is busy. Oh yeah, that's right. There is no devil because he said there's not.
You know, you'll have people who are like, it's all connected. It's all connected, all right? All of it. Jean Benet, 9/11, and the tiger that went missing at the zoo. It's all connected. That's the other thing about my friends who say it's all connected. They stare, and it's like, if you would blink, I might be on board quicker. But the way that you can't just tell somebody, even if it's a fact, even if you're telling somebody the truth, if you stare, it does take them out of what the truth is. You gotta stop. You might tell someone a fact, but if you stare afterwards, you kill your own momentum. You could be looking at your friend. It's Tuesday. Do you see how I don't care what day it is for a second?
I do feel you, but you did also point at your head like, duh, dumb, you don't know days of the week? Of course. That is a part of it. And I do want to apologize to my normie friends who I did, especially the juicy, attractive women that I did that to. I apologize. Yeah, I kind of shot myself in the foot at the bar when I was like, but I do get it, I do. So that's why I don't care, and I never cared. It didn't matter to me if you weren't listening to me or us. I got a beautiful conspiracy theorist wife. And shout out to all you conspiracy theorist women who are still single. Fear not, because in that day, 7 women will take hold of 1 man. I know you don't want to believe that. It's a conspiracy, right? Just remember, we were right once. Don't think we can't do it again. I'm sorry that burns.
There's this sense, right, that whiteness right, is under threat. The demographic shifts. The country isn't what all of these racially ambiguous children on Cheerios commercials are confusing the hell out of me.
Eddie, a lot of people voted because their life's too damn expensive, and it was here, and
they voted for. You're telling me, Stephanie, that all of these people who believe that their lives are, that bread is too high and eggs are too high, that they voted for a convicted fella, a guy who said we can grab the pea.
I think that a lot.
They voted for this guy.
I'm not defending it, but I think there are tons of people that don't pay attention to, and I'm not defending it, don't pay attention to politics at all. But while we live in the most prosperous country in the world, people are saying life's not fair, I'm not doing well, my son's still living in the basement, I can't seem to get a job, I don't like the status quo, I'm voting for something else, and he was the person.
I love you to life.
I love you.
But I do not believe that. I cannot believe that. And the reason I think you believe it is because you don't want to believe that that's what's really motivating them. It's always the case. People don't want to believe what the country actually is, because if they believe it, they're going to have to confront what's in them.
Right, and it's the same reason that people will give for not liking a Muslim. I was just like you, I'm telling you. Granted, it took a different conversation for me to be like, well, you know, I mean, they are people too. I mean, let's hear what they gotta say. I mean, what she gotta say. I'm listening to say it again though.
4 wives.
Okay, why is that?
Okay, so what Islam does is Islam is pragmatic.
Yeah, this is not for you. This is for me because I dropped out in the 8th grade and I don't know what the word pragmatic means. I can't even pronounce it correctly. So I know you know this already. This is just, okay, dealing with things sensibly and realistically in a way that is based on practical rather than theoretical considerations. Okay, a pragmatic approach to business ethics, according to dictionary and AI. Okay, let's keep going.
For example, if I have 4 wives, I can impregnate all 4 of them. They know who the father is, they know who the mother is. So before we had all DNA and who the father is, number one. So number one for lineage. If it's going to be done, it has to be done in the right way. Now, let me give you the reason that applies to today. How many men do you know who have side chicks, mistresses and girlfriends who cheat on their wives? So what Islam says is the following, sister. If you are going to do it, you have to do it in a correct way without degrading this other woman. So what men usually do is the following. They say, okay, I have a wife, but I have the innate desire to be with another woman. Okay, what they do is they mistreat that other woman by argument, say she's just a side chick. Islam says no, it doesn't work like that. If you are going to do it, you are going to do it the proper way. How you married your first wife, you have to marry her. You gave a dowry. Do you know what a dowry is?
Dowry, yeah.
You have to give the dowry to the second wife. You buy her a car, you buy her a car. You buy her a phone, you buy her a phone. What that does is, it says equality to a certain degree. So what the man does is, he's thinking, okay, I just want to be with the second wife just for sex. So Islam says, you can't do that because you have to meet the father. So he's thinking, oh my gosh, I have to go through all of these obstacles. It deters a man to do it the right way. So what we do is, in today's time, there's so many men. In France, to have a mistress is fashion. It's like a casual thing. So what Islam says is, no, you are not allowed to degrade another woman and use an abuser. If it's going to be done, let it be done the right way.
We're finding that if you were born in the 18 and 1900s, you could go outside and stare off into the corn or into the barn. A stack of hay would also do. Just look at it for hours and an invention that blows the entire world away will just come to life. But once the year 2000 hits, the evolved and advanced group of people, all of us, we can't figure out how the heck to build a bed from IKEA. No matter how long we look at the box, there's always pieces left over. So let's go further. We see that the airplane is obviously from the old world. It's been here way before the 1800s. It's depicted in Egypt, as well as so many other places. So Wright brothers, it's your turn. We're all told that Wilbur and Orville Wright, they were bicycle mechanics. They had no formal engineering degrees, and somehow they achieved the first powered, controlled, heavier than air flight in 1903.
Listen, let me just stop him there because I know the implication, which is how could we do it? This something was way smarter than us back in the days, 4,000 or 5,000 years ago. I'm not denying that, but I'm also saying you're dumber today because they dumbed you down intentionally. Shout out Generation X. We're the last generation of adults. Listen, right here in front of you is a diagram from who's these people? And dirtytips.com. Look, you see the greatest generation, 1901, 1927. The silent generation, 1927, 1946. Baby boomers, that's my mother's generation, not mine. I'm not a boomer, but whatever, you're not that smart anyway. 1946, 1964. Generation X. That's my audience. Shout out to us. The X signifies this is the last generation of adults. We do not want y'all to be adults in body and mind. Absolutely not. Millennials, Generation Z, Generation Alpha. I'm not saying it's not a reset. I'm not saying there wasn't a reset then. I'm saying there are no more adults and they're not going to craft any more adults. And these guys cannot put together something out of IKEA. Well, I think you get what I'm saying.
These two bike mechanics did not have a government lab. They didn't have a research program. They didn't have any facilities. But they were just off creating the first powered airplane. And guess what? It never failed ever again after that. They figured out lift. They figured out propulsion. And within a few years, people all over the world were just flying everywhere. All thanks to a couple bike mechanics from 1903. And the crazy part is that it only took these guys 4 years to figure it out. From 1899 to 1903, creating the airplane with a budget of $1,000 to $2,000. This is unbelievable. This translates to about $30,000 to $70,000 today. Are you kidding me? How in the world has nobody ever questioned this nonsense before? So inventions are just flying at us at this point. They have no money. There's no training. There is no help from corporations. These stories are crazy. They're 100% illogical, especially when they didn't get help from anybody. A two-person research team. There were no outside engineers, no aeronautical department. There were no professors guiding their work. Just a couple of guys and $1,000. And airplanes are here forever.
Whatever you do, never stop on this highway. People go missing here more than almost anywhere else in America. I-40, Tennessee to Oklahoma. I-40 looks normal during the day, but at night, it's a different story. Truckers talk about cars abandoned with doors wide open, belongings still inside, but no person anywhere. One woman said a man stepped out of the woods and stood in the road, completely still, just staring. When she called 911, dispatch told her, "Do not get out of your vehicle. Keep driving." When troopers checked the area, no man. Just footprints leading into the trees and stopping. I-95, East Coast. On I-95, a college student's car was found running with the hazard lights on. Her phone was still on the seat. Her wallet. Her bag. She vanished within minutes. No struggle. No evidence. No suspects.
Child molesters and rapists.
Oh, no, it wasn't that. It wasn't that.
No, I'm like, these are the only people that had their cells on because they totally away from us.
Wait, their cells are unlocked?
Yeah, on LS2, they would be on the whole other end, and they on their block, their cells would be unlocked, and they had plants and stuff.
Yes, so if it sounds like he's saying the prison system be protecting these guys, yes, that's what he's saying. The prison system protects those kinds of guys who be on this interstate that this guy was talking about from us. Us men will get at them, which is always crazy when these women say, men are this and this. And no, that's the men you keep choosing. I don't know why you chose that dude. That's the creepy part, that you like men that's like that. Anyway, what you were saying, bro?
That doesn't make sense to me. That feels like...
I never knew it until I went to, because we had rec yards on two different ends of the unit. So they had said we could go to the Fort Rec, and we walked, and I was walking past and said, I'm like, wait a minute, why they got plants? Who are these people with plants? and they cells was open, and they was treating them like patients.
That feels crazy to me.
And first of all, they gonna keep them away from us because we serve justice on that end. Like we have never thought that these people were what they say can be rehabilitated. We've never thought that. And it's things that you get into your mind once you're inside that you would think, oh, I would never do that, and then you would see it, and then you start to think, man, I have a mother, I have daughters, I have sisters. Yo, why is he this is your fifth time in here?
Right.
Yo, man, why they like, and then your mind, you think that you wouldn't, but you waiting on opportunity, like, yo, man, if I ever get a chance to run up on money, like, it's gonna be a problem. Because it was crazy how they used to keep them away from us. That was the whole thing, that you wouldn't even announce that.
Okay guys, pretty crazy breaking news. The president and CEO of the World Economic Forum has just resigned after the organization launched an investigation into his ties with, you guessed it, Jeffrey Epstein. Man, do you know what that means? That means in the last week alone, not Prince Andrew, arrested, Lord Mandelson in the UK, arrested, Bill Gates formally apologized to his staff at the foundation and admitted 2 affairs with Russian women. Larry Summers, he just announced yesterday that he too will resign after Harvard launched an investigation into his ties with Epstein. Nobel Prize winner and leading molecular biologist Richard Axel, he also announced yesterday that he too was resigning. Bill and Hillary Clinton are having to testify in front of Congress today and tomorrow on their ties with Epstein. A couple of days ago, a legal review was just ordered into the president of Bard College, and then today, the head of the WEF, which is widely considered one of the most influential organizations around the world, also gone. And that is just 1 week. That's crazy.
I'd say, great, finally, they're doing the white guys. They put all of these black dudes, R. Kelly, Puff Daddy, Bill Cosby, all of these black dudes they put in front of you like, oh, they're so terrible. But now they're putting these distinguished white men who've had a longer run. They've been doing it for way longer. In fact, it's their system. You're not even getting into this amount of money unless we okay it. Who's the we? Well, the devil, of course. Oh, but you know, the devil doesn't exist. So since he doesn't exist, who else do you point the finger at? The simulation? Yeah, well, whatever you're gonna do, I'm just like, finally, white guys. Finally, as if there weren't none.
With my girl. And I want y'all to just notice something. There's women, all eating there. Women, all eating there. And let's not forget right there too, because they're everywhere. Oh my god. I don't normally go out, but when I do, I go out with my girls, and I am seeing something, a trend. Girls are all going out with their girlfriends. There's not like one date in it.
Yeah, I don't think that trend's going to be going away anytime soon. But I think it works though. You know, men get to keep their money. They get to work on what they want to do and do what they want to do. And I mean, women can go and spend all their money, get all this debt, you know, on their nails. You can tell she's got her nails done. She's probably got the expensive makeup, you know, going out for dinner every night. At least she's got to foot the bill. And also the men won't have to deal with her debt down the road. So win-win, I think. Anyway, I don't think this particular lady really cares what's happening in the dating market. I think she just wants somebody to pay for her dates, and no one's doing it, and so she makes this video. How typical of women. Okay, let's go to the next one.
All right, y'all, we have some breaking news, and it is creepy AF. So a lot of y'all are familiar with this. The Annabelle doll. The same doll that's been on a cross-country tour. The same doll that was in Louisiana at the time that inmates broke out of jail, like 10 of them, and that a plantation caught on fire. The same Annabelle doll that the original handler said should never leave its home, should never be out of this specially made case, right? And jump scare warning, the same Annabelle that this movie was based on. Well, this man right here is 54-year-old Dan Rivera, and he is the current handler of it. He just dropped dead completely unexpectedly of completely unknown causes. Now, this happened when he stopped over in Gettysburg during his Devils on the Run tour. He apparently had the doll with him, at least that's what reports are saying. And then calls came in that something was going on. He was given CPR and just didn't make it. He seemed otherwise completely healthy.
Thank you. To my channel members, we said thank you. Ha! To my channel members. No diddy when I say member. Thank you. To my channel members. Fuck you if you're not a member. Nah, I'm just kidding. But seriously, join. Thank you.